the Prophet ﷺ on the day of migration? How old is he? 23 years old? Is he walking from Mecca to Medina on foot? Or on this journey with thousands of people trying to find him down and kill him when he's like 35 years old? The age of some actor or something, some strong marathon runner? How old is he at this age? 53. He's 53 years old. Show me a 53-year-old man in Milwaukee, Wisconsin who can walk 2 miles in the heat of Makkah Mukarramah without collapsing. And our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has so much pressure on him. And his companion for migration, how old is he? 23. How old is he? 25. How old is he? He's 51. How old is his companion? Abu Bakr's 51. The Prophet ﷺ is 53. You know, if we saw someone that age, we'd say, they're both goners. 53-year-old guy and the guy's bodyguard is 51, forget it, right? But here Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu says, O Messenger of Allah, we can't outrun these people. We have to play smart. What we need to do is we need to hide in one of these caves. The Prophet ﷺ says, okay, let's do it. He says, O Messenger of Allah, but there's an issue. The issue is that wherever we go, they're going to catch us. Because they will see 2 sets of footsteps. And they know there's 2 of us. He said, O Messenger of Allah, we have to remove 1 set of the footsteps. Now you and I would think that someone's going to get a bullet in their head. Right? We have to remove 1 set of the footsteps. He says, O Messenger of Allah, we have to remove 1 set of the footsteps. The Prophet ﷺ says, Abu Bakr, what are you suggesting? He said, O Messenger of Allah, grab my back and let me carry you up the mountain. What is he saying? Grab my back. I'm going to carry you up the mountain. And this is not a walk in the park. This is a steep mountain. Ghar al-Thawr. He says, O Messenger of Allah, get on my back, I will carry you up. And the Prophet ﷺ, he holds on to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, this weak man, he's doing dua to Allah and he's climbing his way up Mount Everest. He's climbing his way up Thawr. And he's going towards that cave. And let me tell you one thing. The Prophet ﷺ, he wasn't only, his mass wasn't only composed of his flesh and blood, his bones. His mass was composed of prophethood. It was composed of wahi. You know when they conquered Makkah Mukarramah, the Prophet ﷺ, he entered into the Kaaba and he took his staff and he was breaking all the idols in the Kaaba. There was one idol that was at a lofty high place in the Kaaba. The Prophet ﷺ couldn't reach it. Ali radiallahu anhu was there. He said, O Messenger of Allah, jump on my shoulder, let me get you to the top so you can break that idol. Now Ali radiallahu anhu on the other side was a stocky guy. He was a heavyweight. This guy can knock anyone out. He was a strong guy. He went to the fortress of Khaybar. He grabbed the door handle and he yanked it out of his hinges. Try that when you're at home, right? Actually, don't try it. Your father's going to say, where did that sheikh come from, right? Imagine that. Not some fire door or some door that you have here. A fortress. You know how thick those doors are? They're made of real wood, not compressed wood. Okay? He'll grabs a hold of that handle and he yanks it out of its hinges. And these hinges are like 1 millimeter or 1 centimeter hinges. These are like, God knows how many feet wide, right? He yanks it out of its hinges, and then he says, the people, the Yahud, they came out of that fortress, and as they came, Ali radiallahu anhu told his companions, stand behind me, and he rushed them with that door. He held the door in front of him, and he ran forward, and he knocked them all off their feet. This guy was solid, he was strong. And he says to the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, O Messenger of Allah, climb on my shoulders so you can reach that idol there. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what does he say to him? He says, إِنَّكَ لَا تَسْتَطِيعُ حَمْلَ ثِقْلِ النُّبُوَّةِ. That Ali, your shoulders cannot bear the weight of Nubuwah. What does he say to him? Ali, your shoulders, إِنَّكَ لَا تَسْتَطِيعُ حَمْلَ ثِقْلِ النُّبُوَّةِ. You cannot bear the weight of Nubuwah, the weight of prophethood on your shoulders. And here Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu is holding on the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. People are chasing him. Every street, every corner, every mountain, every pathway is being searched. Right? And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu is climbing up. He's climbing up. He's climbing up. And finally when he reaches a cave where he thinks is a good place for them to stay, he tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Messenger of Allah, you wait outside, let me go inside. He goes inside the cave. He enters into the cave. And he takes the scarf from his head and he cleans the cave out. He removes anything in that cave that would possibly hurt the Prophet ﷺ. He then uses that cloth and tears it into pieces and covers all the different mouths and all the different holes inside the cave in case anything crawls inside to hurt the Prophet ﷺ. And now when this lounge has been prepared for the Prophet ﷺ, He says, O Messenger of Allah, please enter inside the cave. And when they sit down in the cave, they see that the mouth of the cave is uncovered. And the Prophet ﷺ tells Abu Bakr, don't worry. And the ankabut comes, the spider comes, and it spins its web on the mouth of the cave. They're sitting inside there. One hole is left uncovered. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu has no cloth spare to put inside that hole. He puts his foot against that hole. He sits down. He says, O Messenger of Allah, you must be tired. Why don't you go to sleep in my lap? What is he saying? Who's tired? O Messenger of Allah, you might be tired. So why don't you go? Who's been carrying who on the back? Abu Bakr's been carrying the Prophet ﷺ on the back, and he says, O Messenger of Allah, you must be tired. Why don't you go to sleep in my lap? And he takes the Prophet ﷺ, he lies him down, and he puts the Prophet ﷺ to sleep. And how blessed Abu Bakr must be, spending 3 days and 3 nights in seclusion alone with the Prophet ﷺ. One-on-one time. You know, you get excited when you get to have lunch with the Shaykh, when you get to drive the Shaykh from one community to another community, when you get to go to the Shaykh's house and have tea with him. He spent one-on-one time, not with the Shaykh, with Shaykh al-Mashayikh, Sayyid al-Anbiya'i wal-Mursaleen, Khayru khalqillahi kullihimi. He's spending personal time with the Prophet ﷺ. And Nabi ﷺ is in his lap. And the story is very famous. He's covering his foot on that hole. The snake comes and bites his foot. And he feels the poison is spreading through his body. And as he feels that poison is spreading through his body, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, he can't bear the pain. But he doesn't want to move. The reason why he won't move is because if he moves, the Prophet ﷺ's sleep will be destroyed. It will be disturbed. So he signs a death warrant. He signs his death certificate. He can feel poison in his body. He now has an option. Either I stand up, or either I give my life and I die and let this poison spread in my body because I don't want the Prophet ﷺ to wake up. And what choice does he make? I'm going to stay exactly where I am. If I need to die, I'll die, but I won't disturb the Prophet ﷺ in his sleep. And then the tear from his face falls on the beloved face of Nabi ﷺ. And the Prophet ﷺ wakes up. He says, Abu Bakr, what's wrong? Why are you crying? He said, O Messenger of Allah, something just bit me in my foot and I could feel the poison spreading through my body. The Prophet ﷺ says, Abu Bakr, show me your foot. And the Prophet ﷺ takes his blessed saliva, he places it on the foot of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu says, my other foot used to hurt sometimes, but this foot was made of iron now. That foot sometimes used to hurt a little. But this foot, it never shook, it was just solid and rock. It was just the most powerful thing, powerful limb that I had in my body. That limb which touched the saliva of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.